frog in my throat this morning. The other thing that you can have is gastroesophageal reflux disease. This is GERD, and you hear that because what happens is when the throat closes off from the tongue, as the diaphragm is contracting and contracting strength, like the bellows trying to pull air in, as it comes down, then it squeezes on the sphincter of the stomach and shoots acid up. It doesn't have to be vomitous, where it's actually liquid coming up. It can be the air. It can be the air that comes up is acidic. Excuse me. So one of the things that I see is that I look on the tongue side of the teeth, of the upper teeth, and if I see erosion, then I'm thinking reflux disease. Now you can also think bulimia and that sort of thing, but reflux disease, I think about that. That leads us into acid erosion of the teeth, right? And so this is the most common thing. Sports drinks. You know, when Gatorade first came out, I was in 1975, I was at Tulane University in New Orleans, and my cousin, who's a plastic surgeon now, he played football for Tulane. And I used to hang out with all the football players. I lived on the same floor with all the jocks. I didn't play football, but I knew all of the guys, and so I hung out with them all the time. And I remember they go, hey, we got a new drink. We got a new sports drink. You should taste it. It's called Gatorade. I tasted that Gatorade, and I was like, oh my God, why would you want to drink this stuff? It tasted nasty, right? Nasty. Well, the company that makes Gatorade decided that wasn't going to sell very well onto the market, right? So they put a lot of sweeteners in it, and they put a lot of citric acid in it to make it very, very tangy, but also citric acid, right? And then it's got all these different acids in it. Monster drinks. Those monster drinks and what's the other one that's out there right now? The Red Bulls and that sort of thing. I'm not talking against them. If you do it in good moderation, you're probably going to be okay. If you're doing your fluoride like you should be doing, you're probably going to be okay. But even soft drinks, soft drinks. You look at what's made out of it. It's citric acid, phosphoric acid, maleic acid. I mean, they're all acids, and so they're going to. I put my timer on so that I would know that I'm getting close to my time. So acid erosion is important. And then, of course, here we talk about the esophageal valve with GERD, right? Then the other thing you look at, the cues trainers look at, is really drug addiction. This is a patient of mine who came in. Finally, I work with the Bexar County Justice Center, providing free dentistry for people that are in this program that they quit drugs. They have to be free of drugs for 2 years. And then myself, some surgeons, periodontists, surgeons, orthodontists, we work together on giving them free dentistry and getting them back. But they have to prove that they can be free of drugs for over 2 years. I've had heroin addicts. This is a meth addict. Meth will take you from looking like a normal person to look like you're have been on the streets for all your life in a matter of months. So then this is the other thing is this article here, and I put up, this is the article that I talked about with Dr. Stevens, Dr. Lindsay Stevens, and Dr. Elliot Young and myself wrote a couple years ago. You can find it. This is the address, so you can just type this in and you come back in. A lot of stuff that I mentioned today is found in this article. So that's one thing I want to tell you right now. I read a book, and I'm not going to endorse the book, but I'm going to tell you, if you ever have a chance to read the book, it's by James Nestor, okay? And it's called Breath, B-R-E-A-T-H, Breath. It's an amazing book. There's, other than some of the books that I've read that have been very influential in my life, this book is really, really good when it comes to the art of breathing, when it comes to performance enhancement. One of the things that they did is they plugged up his nose with some silicone rubber and put some tape in there, and he had to go 10 days just mouth breathing. Blood pressure went up, all these sugars went up, all these crazy things went up, right? And then once it was removed and he could do nasal breathing, then all of those things came back to normal. So mouth breathing, like I said, is really encourages the sympathetic response, which is going to increase your endorphins. You think, well, that made me feel better, but it's actually going to increase your heart rate too. And so I used to think when I was a little kid and when I would run and my coach would go, but you have to breathe through your nose, my nose, more mouth, but actually, and I made my connection in Dallas, and of course I had a mask on, I had my N95 on, and then my flight, I got into Terminal A, and my flight was in Terminal E, my connection, and I had only like 30 minutes to catch it. And so I ran, and I had already read this book, and I'm breathing through my nose. Trust me, I'm not in the shape, but that's not the shape that I want. And so I ran, breathing my nose, on time, out of breath. I was tired, but I was out of breath because I was breathing my nose. It's amazing what happens when you breathe your nose. One of the things that I do right now, for some of you, your own information, is look up mouth. But if you take a 3M Nextcare microtape, you can only take really, but lots of microtape, it's about an inch wide. And it's kind of tape that you use, so it doesn't stick very much. But you do your nose, you go and you eat your lip. It sounds weird. But you take the whole idea of management.
From our online viewers.
Yeah.
It was, are there any dental appliances, mouth guards, etc., that really help with obstructive sleep apnea beyond the, like the machines, just more of the appliances?
Well, not sports mouth guards. Okay. No. So.